Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great. Hope you're having a great weekend so far, and welcome to this new video right here on Ethereum. We're going to do a full update on Ethereum. We'll talk about mostly the technicals. I also like someone commented in my on my video about the Mega ETH ICO. If you don't know, Mega ETH is one of the major new crypto launches that's coming probably end of 2025, more likely early 2026. It's a major project. It's very hyped up. It has some major investors. I mean, I'll show you real quick. And I think the ICO is in the next couple of days. I personally will participate with that. I've fulfilled all the onboarding, etc. Here you can see Mega ETH. It's on Sonar, so that's the decentralized version of Echo, and Echo is obviously the platform that was acquired by Coinbase last week. So this is hyped, but does it really matter that much fundamentally for Ethereum? I don't think so, and I've seen no evidence of that. So I briefly wanted to mention that. But now let's focus on the technicals. Let's focus on the current situation for Ethereum and what we can expect going into next week, because I do think there's some interesting things we can expect and some interesting opportunities that I wanted to talk about. So let's get right into it. Now, Ethereum has been quite constructive. I mean, Bitcoin obviously has been developing quite nicely, and that's pulling up Ethereum with it. So in that sense, Ethereum doesn't look too bad, but the truth still remains, and I've spoken about this in the last couple of days as well, because it has been true for a little while longer, for the entire last week. And that is that Ethereum BTC, right? So the relative strength of Ethereum against Bitcoin is still weak, all right? And this is definitely not in an uptrend. And from the daily to the 12-hour to the 4-hour to the 1-hour time frame, there is no bullish momentum of Ethereum against Bitcoin, all right? So all of the bullish momentum we're seeing right now for Ethereum is caused by the markets, and the markets being Bitcoin. All right, so in that sense, like, technically, do we look bad? No, I mean, we got a good bounce here from the bottom of the range, and we've been able to reclaim and hold the 7-day rolling VWAP, so there's definitely nothing wrong with that. But it's relatively weak. All right, and that matters, especially if you go into a next week. Right now, the volume and the liquidity in the markets are quite low, right? So then you go into a new week where we have the FOMC meeting on Wednesday, right? So that already brings about quite a lot of volatility usually. You go into that week relatively weak as Ethereum against Bitcoin, with low liquidity, and then with the FOMC meeting on Wednesday, which usually creates volatility, even though low liquidity already means volatility. And then you have another event adding more volatility and a weak coin. You would say, well, that's bearish. I mean, if we have some sort of bad news, some sort of a sale, then we will spike down. And that is correct. But I think for Ethereum, that's an opportunity. And that is an opportunity for two reasons. First of all, on the higher time frames, Ethereum actually looks pretty good. If you look at the daily time frame right here, I am not too worried about Ethereum. I think it looks good right here. And I think we will be able to hold our main support level around 3,700. And I would expect a move into this level right here at 4,500 as well at some point of time, even though it seems for now we'll have to wait for that. So on the higher time frames, we don't look bad, and I think this volatility on this expected volatility can also cause us to spike down into some great entries. I mean, right now you can, for example, see that there's a high liquidity zone at 3,880. There's a weak low and a fair value gap at 3,840. There's still an older fair value gap and a value area low at 3,800. So I think if we do get some sort of a spike down, caused by this low liquidity, and it's not accompanied by bad news, right? If it's bad news, I'm not sure if I would buy into Ethereum. But if we get that volatility and we spike down into some of the older imbalances we have, especially 3,840 seems quite interesting, then that's a major opportunity. And that opportunity only is there on Ethereum because Bitcoin, etc., are much stronger, and it's much less likely that they will spike down into those good buy areas. Right, so that is also what I would expect under the current fundamentals right now for Ethereum. That's a major opportunity in my opinion, definitely one to watch. But that's why I would expect something like this. Going into next week, a spike down, fill some of those imbalances, followed by stability and still a move up into our main resistance level around 4,100. And once we reach that level, we'll talk about whether we can break above that. For now, I would say no, but we shall see. That's it for now. Thank you for watching, everybody. Take care and bye.